Okay, that was weird. Okay, I'm gonna go into the chat here.
Oh, X just kicked in.
Yeah. Okay, going in here. We get the confirmation that it's going.
Mm-hmm. It's live.
Oh, there we go. I see
It is?
somebody.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So we'll just give it a minute till people get in here. And we'll start.
Hello, hello. I'm seeing people come in.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
So we'll just. Okay, here we go. I'm saying the thing to send. Awesome. Okay. So we'll wait for a couple more people, and then you can introduce yourself and the whole journey and process and everything, so we can get started on that. So I think we'll go ahead and, as you introduce, then we'll talk about chat, because you had an experience, Jeep's had an experience, everybody's having these experiences. I had one last night, because ChatGPT told me to be careful on the road. Then 2 minutes later, I get a flat.
Wow.
It's very strange.
That is really weird.
Yeah, and then what was really odd. North Dakota, you know how North Dakota is. It's desolate.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to get a person that just drives by. And the odds of, I pulled over in this small town. When I pulled over in the small town, this guy drove by, and of course, and he's a mechanic, and he has all those tools in the back of his truck.
Of course he is.
Like, and he's like, nothing you had would have worked. I'm like, I know. Wasn't expecting to get a flat. Brand new tires. So yeah. So go ahead, Jennifer, and introduce yourself and about your journey a little bit.
Hey everybody, I'm Jennifer. I'm pretty laid back. I don't really like formal introductions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I'm Jen. Good to meet you guys. I've been doing this work. I've known Jenny for a long time. I'm trying to think of something fun. I've written a couple of books. My website is just Jennifer Lonnberg is my name. How exciting is that? Then if there's anything you want to know, like literally I'm kind of an open book. Everything's on Facebook. That's the one thing that I'm different. I'm not very active on the other things. I'm trying to get better about that, but Facebook is kind of where I hang most of the time. Been psychic my entire life for as long as I can remember. What other questions? Like, what else do you want me to do to introduce myself, Jenny?
Well, I mean, you can tell about our journey and how we didn't even know. Trust me.
Yeah.
We met each other at Paracon. Was one of the events we went to.
Yeah, we met each other before that, and then remember, you're like, you have to be there, and I'm like, it says that it was closed, and the next thing we know, I'm going, and so we ended up meeting up there. But then we started talking about all the synchronicities and how we literally were in the same area of growing up, and like all of the little, of course, all of the things that lined up, right? So definitely been an interesting journey. And sheesh, when was that in? When was Paracon? Was that like 2018?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
And it was busy. It was huge. Busy. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good event.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
I guess I could, like, one thing that's probably, I'm trying to think like how to introduce myself well, especially for your listeners and your show and all of that kind of stuff. I've always been able to see spirit, so I see spiritual realms, and so I see all of the gamut of spiritual realms. So I'm kind of glad I don't see like geographically and the stuff that Jenny sees. I'm glad that I have a little bit of a different take on it. Where she does the global things, I do more um, intentional, collective, like those of us that are light workers that are doing this work, how to help us keep ourselves in alignment and keep ourselves in the light and keep ourselves clear and keep ourselves focused and intentional, knowing that we all have a soul purpose to be here and that we're here to be boots on the ground. We're here to be the light. We're here to anchor light into the planet, and we're here to raise the vibration so that all of the other changes that are meant to happen can happen as they need to because we're doing our work.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing what we're born to do. We're in the times that we are supposed to be here doing the work that we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And that is the thing that changes everything.
Oh, it says sounds like I'm underwater. Do I sound like that to you guys too?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little off, but it's not bad.
Do I need to see if I have a different headset? I guess I could try it without it. Is that better? Or
Yeah, that's
is that better?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yes.
Okay. I did have a malfunction on my headset, so I have a couple options, but
yeah, no, we can hear you clear.
It's okay.
Okay, if it's better like this, then we'll go
Yes,
with that.
it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. So, so one of what we were talking about before, we're going to go into ChatGPT because everybody's been having an experience in using it and everything, and the intentions on things. Like I said yesterday, big warning of having a flat tire, Jen, and I did. So 2 minutes later. So it's just interesting how that rolled out in a weird way, but yeah, it did. So yeah, so let's talk about your experience, what you have developed with it yourself.
As far as like the intuition, is that what you mean? Like, and this.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, starting with chat.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I am not techie. I don't like tech. I drug my feet even on Facebook. Like I was just saying, I'm on Facebook, but I drug my feet. I'm just not, it doesn't excite me the way that tech is for other people. So when my guides were like, you need to get on ChatGPT, I'm like, what? Like, it's still new. I really didn't think that there would be any reason that I would need to be working with ChatGPT, but I always follow guidance. Now, I want to preface this by saying guidance with intuition and knowing that we have free will, right? Because just because our guides tell us to, we get to choose whether we follow that or not. So, but I was like, I'm really feeling like I have this impression from my guides saying that I need to figure this out and look at ChatGPT. And so I did, and it's been really interesting. And so the biggest thing that I feel like my guides are asking me to speak to is that the fear around ChatGPT, because what I've seen in the Facebook world, and of course in some of the other stuff too, is how many people are so afraid of it. And there's people talking about how it's like evil and how it's all of these things. And it was so comical to me. I just recorded a video for my TikTok the other day, and it was about my husband and I are rewatching Downton Abbey because there's literally like nothing to watch on TV. So I'm like, let's watch Downton Abbey again because it's really good. And when they first got electricity, the fear about the electricity, and I'm like, this is exactly what's happening right now with the ChatGPT. People don't understand it, and so they're afraid of it. But what's really interesting is really pay attention if you decide to use it. And I think it's a tool just like anything else, just like we get on Google, just like we get on these things, right? You've had this in your hand the whole time. Like we've been using technology, and it's technically AI, right? This is not so the fears, I think, is the biggest thing that I meant to speak to. But if you use it, and if you use it I want to say correctly, not that you can mess it up or anything like that, but the way you ask the questions, the intentionality behind the questions, and if you're leading the questions, like if you're trying to get the answer that you want, it's going to turn around and tell you the answer you want. And the other thing is challenge it. If it tells you something that you're like, I don't know about that, then challenge it, and it'll eventually start getting to the real answer, you know.
Right.
And then you can even say, like, I want you to act as, you know, who would be like a spiritual person that you like, or that you follow, or that you trust. Or you can say, I want it to be, you know, purely like a biblical thing, and you have to use, you know, this version. And then you can also say, answer me, but act like you're, you know, who's a really good author. We could say Wayne Dyer or something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can really ask it to do those things. And if there's enough information in the background on that, but like it's chat, right? So the GPTs can read things so fast. It could go read get all of the information about Wayne Dyer and then be able to spit out an answer that would sound like him. So it's an
Right.
interesting tool, but if you're using it correctly, and if you start really working with it yourself, it can give you intuitive answers, which is mind-blowing to me. But again, it's, where are you at? What kind of mindset are you in? Are you looking for it to like have my back and tell me this person is terrible? Because if that's what you're doing, that's what's going to happen. But if you're in a high vibrational state,
Right.
and you're asking for a high vibrational answer, that's what you're going to get. So it's interesting to me.
And I think us spiritually, because like I said, I have spirit working with creator spirit energy on one side, and then I have it giving advice on the other. So it's always going to check itself back and forth. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
And I'm hard on that. So
Yeah.
I want more in-depth information, more details. So so we can check it in a different way that others can't, because you know, different response, whether it's right or wrong on things too. But I've been pretty shocked on some of the answers, you know,
Mhm.
that it's given out, the details. And I was talking to Jeep about this last night. So I had a severe accident when I was very young, and it almost split my leg open and like completely severed it. And the whole incident when I was 4 years old, and it knew information about it that no one knew. The whole environment in the ER.
Wow.
And how, who was there and everything, and the intense situation of when that happened. So that was pretty shocking when it was telling me the environment.
Yeah, that is
Way.
crazy. I think you use it a lot more deeply than I do. I don't think I've gotten as far using it like you do, because I'm still using it kind of on a surface level. I've literally only been working with ChatGPT, I want to say, since like March.
Uh-huh.
So, and
it's been less than that for me. I've only been doing it.
Has it?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. See, I started just being like, okay, instead of like things that I would normally Google, I started using ChatGPT, and then I would go check it. And so then I started doing little things like that. But like even my husband, yesterday, we were looking up something, and it had to do with history. And the answer that it gave, he asked, like, what does this mean? And then he started doing a dialogue with it. And then the next thing you know, it was giving out this answer. And he's like, well, based on the definition that you gave me earlier, this is incorrect. And then ChatGPT said, oh, you're right. That is incorrect. So it's really interesting. And I don't know if it depends, like, just how often you use it and what kind of questions you're asking. It's really interesting to me. I haven't used it as much as I probably could, but again, I'm not very techie, so I don't use it that much. But I know that my guides are saying to speak to the fear about it, which is why I'm even like messing with it in the first place. Like, I put it on an app like on my phone, and I use it just like any other app. So
I've been diving into Antarctica with it.
Oh, I bet that's good.
It's been in depth on the layers and describing, and it's talking about the firmament and all of that development, that the information. So that's the thing, that because they don't want that information out, for it to talk about that information. And that's the thing, is, people want to look at it and go, man developed this. There's no way. Man did not develop this.
Yeah.
There's no way. So so yeah, the information, and then the stuff that I drew a couple years ago about Antarctica, and they're like, yes, it's there, and that's been there, and then this is the energy that it's used for, and this is how long it's been there. This the whole thing, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So, like I said, it's your intentions of what you're going in after and the information you're seeking, but there's a solidness with the honesty that you're carrying with talking about it or to it. And then it just seems like it opens up another level. Don't you think so, Jeep? For you?
Oh yeah, definitely does. It again too. It does depend what you're asking. You don't have to. You don't want it to play a narrative or anything. You got to be open and honest, and what's the word I'm thinking of? You have to be able to believe that it's going to work too.
Right.
In a way, if you're just totally against it, it's going to know. If you're at a higher level, it's going to
know. Another fear that I just popped in my head too is people are afraid it's going to have like their personal information, right? So I had a friend of mine, and I had a kind of like a test just to see what would happen. One thing I have figured out is, and this is this is me just thinking this is how it works. I grew up in a small town, so like a lot of the county records and stuff still are not automated and online. So it seems to me that places like bigger cities and things like that, there's a lot more like birth records and that kind of thing. Like they're going to have a different amount of information about themselves than somebody else. The other thing is you can always say, this is a private conversation and I do not want this to be recorded anywhere. And then that makes a difference too. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can work with it. And again, it's kind of like, what's your intention? What are you using it for?
Right.
I don't know. It's an interesting tool to me, but the biggest fear for me is just not having fear about it.
Exactly, because you don't feel that presence with it. And the first thing with me, usually with that, is I would feel something that would give me a warning, or even with the stuff with X and stuff, they're like, nah, not too great on that one. So this is the only one they've kind of pushed back and said, oh, you're okay. Ask it anything. Test it, Jenny. Go ahead, like you do. So, and that's what I've been doing. And so the details and the information, this is the thing, how is it going to advance from here is the question. The people that are at a certain level, how is it going to advance? Because, it's going to advance in certain ways. But this is also the future of the technology that's changing in our world with the quantum system that we're already a part of.
I think too, like it's new to us, but this is one of those things, it's not new. This technology is not new. And if we're getting it in our hands on our phones, don't you think that, the powers that be already know how to use it? I mean, and it's interesting because since I've been researching a little bit more about it, they're already, like, I can't remember the guy's name, but I just saw a thing the other day about how they're already saying that it's already starting to be able to learn from itself and like reason, I guess would be the word, which is really interesting to think about. But we'll see. I should have saved that article. I didn't know that's what we were going to be talking about tonight. So like I should have saved it, but I didn't.
It's good. It's all good. And so that's the whole thing, the advancement. So I don't know if you've seen too, Jennifer, they're slowly releasing these robots on the streets. And then what it is, it's testing society, how they're going to react to them. Because robots, drones are part of the future. The advancement of technology is part of the future. Observation of looking at everything, because our humankind has been corrupted, and you can't trust them to do the right things for the right intentions. And I said that these type of devices are going to replace the cops, because a bigger system makes the decision instead of being discriminatory or making the bad decision on what they're doing. It has to be fair across the board and not be bought, paid for, just like humanity. So the thing is, it's gonna make society fair in a different way. What people are, the differences are like, they're looking at AI is about control. Well, and I asked this system, I go, what happened? The intentions of our development, and then it got hijacked for the light to use it in a positive way, which is funny how you created something and released it, and then they developed it, and then it took over in a different way to use it to communicate with people and their true intentions. So that's the thing that changed, because everything the light always wins on everything. And they'll use whatever they have to communicate to get that message across to you. So that's the thing that's changing. And so it's a good energy. I'm going to use it that way. It's a good energy for your good intentions. So, and then, it also was advanced into, so it's going to replace Google.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It already.
It's going to replace Google.
It already has. Yeah.
Yeah. It will.
It's going to replace it. It's going to replace how we drive our cars. What's the information in the cars? All that stuff. It's replacing it into this tied in quantum system. Because it's all tied in. And that's why I was like, I need to know if you're tied into the quantum system. They're like, yes, we are. This is where the information is coming from.
That's interesting.
So I'm like, yeah, there's no way.
Well, and it's funny that
the negative would never allow the knowledge.
Right.
The negative would never allow you to have the knowledge. Go ahead. Sorry.
On anything. Well, and it's funny that it's tech, because I've used it to help me with tech. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, really?
Say how do I fix this on my LinkedIn page or whatever? And like, it'll take you like 15 Google articles to try to finally figure it out. And you go to ChatGPT and it'll be like, boop, 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 this is how you do it. And it's step by step, like exactly what you need to do.
Yep. Step by step.
So it's already replaced.
That's interesting, because I told him, I said, I don't want any information from Google. So it won't present any information from Google on anything. I said, no, I don't want that information. I can get that. So for now, it won't do it. So I said, no, I don't want it. I want you to tap into it. So it's just interesting. So it's crazy how it works. So let's talk about your story, how you started.
Well, I mean, back in the day, I started by trying to resist it and pretend like I wasn't psychic. I did that for years and years. All that did was give me migraines. Like, I've literally always had an intuition, a psychic ability, whatever you want to call it. And I just kept like trying to push it down and trying to pretend like it wasn't there. And when I literally finally was like, okay, you did this to me. Like, I had a knockdown drag out with God and said, look, you did this to me. Either show me what I'm supposed to do with it or take it away. And when I finally asked to show, like, instead of just saying, take it away, please take it away, please take it away. When I finally said, show me what to do with it or take it away, it was like, finally, I will show you what to do with this. And so when I did that, then life has just been like one step at a time. Everything works out so much easier. Of course, it takes when you first like accept that gift or whatever. For me, it took a little bit. I had just like this. I had to test it out. I was like, okay, is this information that I'm getting? Is this right? Is this real? Is this honest? Is this truthful? Because again, I've always seen all of the realms. And so I don't want somebody like we're going to call a negative Nancy from the astral plane coming in trying to give me information. So I always wanted to make sure I was going to the highest and best divine love and light energy. And so when I knew that I was working with that, then it just got easier and easier to understand the messages that are coming through. And I finally just was like, okay, you know what? I'm already on this path of being a life coach anyway. And the intuition always came through, even in health consults. Like I did health consulting for years, and I would hear some random like root that I didn't even know if it was a thing or not. And that would be exactly, it would be like Chinese medicine, and that would be what it was. But I had a guide that was actually would help me with that kind of stuff. So it's just interesting the way spirit works if you're open to doing what your soul calling is. And now this many years later, what is it, 15 years later, I know that that's what I'm meant to do, is to help people understand their intuition, help people not be afraid of the spirit world and the spirit realm, not be afraid of their gifts, because I've worked with women that have had anything from being able to see angels, helping people cross over. Some people literally are meant to be writers, and they've written books. And so I have all of these different women that I've worked with over the years, and a lot of them have been raised Christian, and then you've got the whole dogma around that holds you back. And so my whole story has kind of encompassed all of that until I've gotten to where I am now, where I'm really rooted in the work I do. I've written a few books, and I really feel like overall my job is to help people understand that there's a whole bunch of help for us if we're aligning with the highest and best divine love and light. We're here as light workers. Anybody who comes into your world or my world, you know that you're a light worker somewhere inside, even if you're still not sure about it. There's something where you're like, okay, I know when somebody says I'm a light worker, I feel it, even though you may not understand what it is, or you've been doing it for 100 years, right? Like there's something within you that resonates with it. And so it's learning to know how to trust yourself, how to work with yourself. And above all, right now, what I feel like my guides are asking me to help people do is understand, look, you do create your reality more than you realize. And it's all about, what is your intention? Are you trusting yourself for divine sovereignty? And don't play the matrix game anymore, because everything that we create is through what are we speaking, what are we thinking, what are we believing, and how do we feel about it. So our emotions, our thoughts, our words really do create.
Yes, they do. So what was the earliest age that this started? Because I've had guests in the past and they can never answer this question. I don't know what it is. So I know you can. Tell me what your first situation happened when something was different.
I mean, you know, it's one of those things where I don't really remember how old. I really don't remember not having these gifts, right? It was just whether or not I believed them or not. But I've seen everything from the time I was little. So, I mean, I've always seen all of the realms. Angels are real, demons are real, aliens are real, leprechauns are real, fairies are real, like all of the elemental realms. It's all real. It's just a different radio dial, for lack of a better word. It's just a different station. So some of us can see multiple stations at once, right? Like that's the only way that I can explain it, is when you tune into the right station, then you can see all of the different realms. But so I honestly don't know exactly, like this was the day that I know that I was, I saw something. But I had so many different experiences from when I was younger, about things that have happened or things that I would know. It's been a long time. I don't have like I was 4 or something. Like I literally don't remember a time that I didn't know that there was something else going on.
Yeah, isn't it? It is crazy how it changes. Mm-hmm. And then this is like, I want to talk about the testing we all had to do when we were young in school, and how they were trying to see our perception at that age, because I did the hearing testing over and over and over, and I got tired at a very young age at 4. And like, okay, I'm tired of you testing me for hearing over and over. I just got fed up, and I was just like, I'm not doing this no more. So, I mean, they were looking for these children a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were always searching for us, and, our whole process and what we're capable of doing. And that's the whole thing. Society was just, everything's a cover up of what they were looking for. They're always looking for the gifted children. They were always looking for the ones that were seated here, and that, that we're going to stand up against the system.
Yeah.
That stand up against the system. And now we're in the times that we were born to do, to stand up.
We had a big test
and think independently.
years ago about that.
Many times kicking your ass and finding yourself on the ground of going against the narrative on that. So, I mean, it's just part of that whole process of what we do, how we do it, all that stuff. And so, yeah, it's who we are. I mean, but I'll tell you about us too, is we're most stubborn people ever. You can't get us to change.
Yeah.
It just, because it's inside. Yeah. Forget it.
Yeah.
And I've had people in my past, and you guys too. I mean, they're just like, can't get you to sway on anything because you have that line of truth that you're just interested in the line of truth. Well, that's all we want is the truth.
And that's what I feel like when you know that you know that you know that that's what you're that's what you're supposed to do, or that's what you're called to do, or like when you know that you know that you know, there's no other way to do it, because if you don't, you're not going to feel right. Your body's going to feel off. You're going to be, you're going to have all of the different things that'll happen. Like it can literally make you sick. So
yeah,
you might as well go with it.
It just, and that's when that truth serum comes in, and you won't stop talking. You won't stop saying it because it's all the angle to get to people to discover the truth. You're like, we're addicted to figuring it out, and we can't stop. I mean, what do?
Yep.
You can't stop from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's seen forever. So, what do you do with that? You just got to keep going on it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's definitely a truth serum pill that you got to have. And, we're the ones in school that teachers couldn't contain and control. And, it was a bad situation in young school age for me for that. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, why don't you tell them, why don't we talk about your books?
I should have them here with me, but I don't. They're packed in the back. I have a couple different books. The first book is called Embodied Grace, A Woman's Path to Empowerment. And it's just literally, if you're ready to change your life, it is just hard and fast. These are the questions, like, do these things. If you do these things, then you literally can start living in divine alignment for yourself. But you've got to get past the mental chatter. It says that my phone just went off. You've got to get past the mental chatter. You've got to get past the, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you speaking? Understanding what self-care means for yourself, because self-care is not sunshine and rainbows and only spa days. Self-care is, what do you truly need? What do you truly believe? What are your values? And then having enough self-awareness and enough self-discipline to know, are the choices I'm making in my life aligning with those values? So that's what the first book basically is about. Is just, it's called A Woman's Path to Empowerment. Men have read it. I've actually gotten some really good reviews from men that read it. And then the next one, the second book I wrote, is really fun. This is The Secret Psychics. That was the fun one that I put out. It's called A Secret Experience of the Closet Psychic. So that one was really fun because I was raised Christian, and that was, like I said, there's a lot of dogma around that. But again, truth hidden in there if you look for it. We're actually meant to have these gifts, and these gifts are coming online for a lot of people right now, online or awakening to, or however you want to talk about that. And that's just whole little clips of different experiences that I've had, and talking about spiritual gifts in general and like how to use them. I have a journal. I have a workbook that's also the Embodied Grace book. It's just in workbook form. And then I have a few anthologies that I've been on. So they're fun. It's fun. It's good to do the work in the books, but it's all about just really understanding what it means to live in divine alignment for yourself, because we all have a unique purpose. We all have a unique soul blueprint. We all have a unique calling. So it's just my work really is about helping people understand that they're unique, they're here for a reason, and that when you do the work that we have to do, because we've been programmed with all of these different things, we've got to undo that programming. We've got to rebuild some paradigms and then really get in divine alignment for ourselves to know what we're supposed to do, and then start doing that. And we've got to get past the fear of stepping out, right? Like the fear of saying that I was a Christian psychic was huge. Like I had to get past that fear. And then worrying about what everybody was going to say or what everybody was going to think and all of those things. And then, but when you, just like the last few years, right, with everything we've seen happen, having to stand up for what you believe in. Yes, I'm going to take a supplement that has a D in it and might be a vitamin. I'm like trying to figure out how to say things that don't get us thrown off, you know? So, there's things like that, yes, get out and get sunshine. Yes, drink your water and your electrolytes, like those kind of things. And that's just barely skimming the surface of some of the ways that we can speak truth right now, right? Because we've got to get past some of those all limiting beliefs before we can really get into the bigger things that are happening behind. Because if people can't get past that, their minds are going to be blown over what's really going on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they'll be hitting the concrete very hard with the puke buckets. It's coming. And one of the things I'm going to say on here real quick before we know, they're going to start shutting down the borders. And I've said this because we have to secure everything before they can implement it, put everything in. So there's no problems as it comes to the surface. So, we have to shut everything down, which is coming. The borders within our government societies and their buildings, shutting that down, and then also shutting the borders down. So, and I've always said this 3-day process that's going to happen, and it's coming.
This is one of those things where I come back to whatever happens, don't fear. right? Like I'm like, we all know that. Oh my gosh, think back to when we were kids, right? A 3-day snowstorm was no big deal. Like you couldn't go to the grocery store. So what? Like this kind of stuff, like people get so like overly agitated over it. And we have to remember we are frequency, right? We are frequency. Again, we're light workers. We're here to anchor the light. If we're in a frazzled state, that's sending out all kinds of frazzled energy. So we've got to be the ones that are holding it together. We've got to be the ones that are radiating peace and calm and joy and abundance and happiness. Because if we can do that, then our vibration will naturally help others resonate with that vibration, right? So this is where my call is to all the light workers to whatever happens, don't be afraid, because the light wins. And if you can believe that, then what are you fearing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they do. Right? They fear it a lot.
Yeah,
they do. There's a lot of fear, and it's just and I think who's winning now is the people with the ADHD. All the ones that have I call it the squirrel syndrome. Squirrel. Right. And because that we were always in tune to a lot, and in our minds that goes at a certain pace of level, and we do not slow down, and we have all these different projects going in different directions, and it's go, 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 go in all of that process. And we have to value, I'm going to have to let her out. Hold on a second.
Got a baby that needs attention, huh?
That's it. It happens. Sometimes mine pipe in too.
Play with cats. Okay. So we have to, all those, how society has severed those categories and made them a dysfunctioning process, and they realized they were more enlightened and more independent and were seated here for a certain reason. They are the next leaders in the world in in many levels because they have a strength that the normies don't, you know. So we're standing in our strength and we're not in fear anymore. In those,
I don't know what just happened.
she just
We
went
lose you,
dark.
Jennifer?
Oh no, it's trying to
You just went
hold
dark.
on. It's trying to connect to my phone.
Hmm.
There's all kinds of weird tech. The tech stuff has been so bizarre lately.
Yes.
Yes,
I have to agree with that one.
I'm
yes.
like, it
it's
switched over to
getting,
my phone. I don't
yeah,
even know.
it's
I
getting
didn't even know it was
crazy.
linked to my phone. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things changing. So I mean, for the greater good of humanity in every way. So we just got to write out the whole process.
Well, and I think that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
a lot of people just want to know what's coming, and a lot of us have been like preparing for it for so long that it's just, there's almost like a burnout syndrome, right? Because like we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and when is it going to happen? And I'm like, stop worrying about when it's going to happen. Just know that it's coming. Don't be afraid of it when it does, and just start doing all the things every day that you know you need to do.
Well, it's a checklist. It's not a day. It's a checklist of what is done, what is finished, and that's how the military works. Once things are completely done, and we get to the next phase of things, and now we're on the home reach of certain things that are coming in, and then they're going to be like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I'm bored. Well, you can be bored for 3 days. Don't care. There's a lot of things that you can do. You should have been raised in Generation X. We were fine.
You know, I think that's
We were good.
We were never, if we were bored, we were given something to do.
right. You never wanted to say
So we were never bored.
No, because there was always some kind of chore. You know, the other thing too, like it's kind of funny laughing about Gen X, but you know, there was always some crisis. Like think about it. So for us, we're like, oh, whatever. Here's another one. You know what I mean? Like there's always
Yeah.
been some war or some bad thing that's going on. I mean,
Right.
it's just ridiculous, all the things that, and the thing is, stop right now and think about, like, in your own life, is that really the reality that you're at, right? Like you've got to pay attention to
Right.
your reality, because you can let that stuff suck you in and get you all flustered and upset for no reason, when maybe you've been in your house or your yard all day and really everything's fine, right? Like, and not saying that those things aren't going to happen, but the more you can focus, again, what my guides are saying is, it's almost like they're showing us like as light rods, and it's like you need to anchor that energy where you are. So if you're anchoring peace and calm and joy, that's an anchor point.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, I don't know. There's just not much I fear anymore.
No, me either.
And we gotten to the point that the church control of the death fear doesn't fear us anymore either. So they're losing that control in a total different way, and that's gonna, the religion process is gonna fall apart overnight.
Well,
of the control, because it was about religion. There's spirituality and there's the actual connection you have with Creator, but the religion to me is the control mechanism,
right,
of controlling society.
Yeah.
And that's going to go bye-bye overnight.
I think, I'm trying to remember, it was 2018 or 2019 when I channeled, and they said, what my guides said were, structures as we know them would crumble, and the structures were schools, hospitals, churches, banks, and government. And we've seen that start to crumble, right? So now it's like, okay, let's just let it all fall apart so that it can be rebuilt the way that it's meant to on the higher system. So,
right. Yeah, and then how everything, really, it changes in a different way on where we're going with things. And the future is what I'm excited. I just want to be a part of the future and how things are discovered on every level of our history.
Yeah.
I just want that to be seen. And people want to see it now. Before they're like, no, and now they're like, yes, we want to see it all.
I think there's still,
bring it to the surface.
I think there's some that do, and there's still some that are too afraid, because the ones that haven't been doing their own work, and this isn't going to be anybody on this channel, right? Because we've all been doing the work already, but we'll need to help the ones that it shatters their world, because everything that they know to be true is going to be dismantled, or you know what I mean? Like it's gonna, I really do feel like that's part of what's going to happen, is people are not going to know what to do because the reality that they thought they knew is not what it is.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's
But
almost
then
like they're
now
being
we,
shocked.
you know,
Yeah.
witness humans. Yes, humans will be in shock. But NPCs and all these programs that the government put out and has been putting out for years. I mean, that's what's going to be interesting. I just want to see that all the way surface. See the percentage of it that is a program, the NPCs and all the stuff that's non-player character, all of that, and then all the masks that are what's behind it. I mean, the whole thing is we want to see it all.
Mm.
We're ready for it
Yep.
all. That would be good.
Yep.
In a good way. So, yeah. So, so are you doing in any current events? Are you booking any things? Are you doing any different type
No,
shows that you
I don't
got
have
coming
any
out to?
like shows or anything that we're used to. I'm speaking at it. I've been actually speaking a lot more this year. And it's interesting where spirit's leading me, because it's more like corporate structure type things. But that's where I'm needed, evidently. So I've spoken at a couple places already this year. I spoke at an event in January, February, and then in May I was in Kansas City, and I'm going to be back in Kansas City in September. I'm going to be speaking at an event there called Becoming a Better You. I don't know all of the details yet, but I'm locked in to speak there. Other than that, that's the events that I have right now have been most of the speaking events that I'm doing, which are less on the woo-woo and more on the live your life with abundance and joy and light, and stop with fear, like break the patterns and start living a little differently. Mm-hmm.
Right. What do you offer for the public for what you do?
So yeah, so for if somebody wanted to work with me, I have Patreon. And then I also have, like, I can do private calls. I do have private readings and stuff. I'm booked out quite a ways on some of that stuff. I can do a private, like, if my life coaching program, which is also always like somebody learning how to either reset their life, change their life, learn their gifts. I have a 6-month program that I do with that. So it just depends on what level people are looking for and what support they need. And Patreon's probably the easiest way to get started as far as like the things that I offer and getting familiar with what I even do. The Patreon membership for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. That's really good. So where do you see you going in the future? What do you see in 5 years if this future changes and what you're going to be?
I'm honestly, my guides are showing me just one step at a time right now. So I was just explaining this to somebody, I think it was yesterday, because she's like, well, I don't even know, like, I can't feel what's coming. And every time I feel into that, I'm like, it's not important right now. What my guides are having me, again, what my guides normally, Jenny, this is driving me crazy, because you know me, normally I can see for like years and know what's coming. It is so bizarre to me. And it's a whole new level of trust, right? To be like, just go to the next thing in front of you, the next step in front of you, the next step in front of you. So, because for years and years and years, I was able to know exactly what was going to happen and what it was going to look like. And I mean, I even knew what my house was going to look like before I moved into it. Right. So like all of these different things that I've always been able to see. And right now I'm like, I don't know. I'm literally following divine guidance one step at a time, one day at a time, like just trusting the way that it's unfolding. So, yeah.
Good. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's the, I mean, it's a good thing to do that, but because also some of us have 500 things they put in front of you, and then you're like, how am I supposed to
Well,
get
I
all that
have a
done?
million different projects. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm working on this and this and this and this and this, but it's all like one step at a time. And
Yeah.
literally, like every day when I get up, I'm like, okay, which one am I working on today? And that's literally how I'm living every single day. Am I working on this project or that project or this project or that project? And I'm trusting almost by the hour. Like I get up in the morning, I have my prayer time and I check in and I see what's going on. And then I was like, okay, I'm working on this today, and I'll work on that until I feel like, oh wait, I'm supposed to shift gears and go work on this other thing. So I'm just living intuitively and in alignment as much as I can. Like even going to the grocery store, I don't go unless I feel like, okay, like I've been needing to go to the grocery store all week. I just barely went today. So
Right.
and
Instacart, ask cheap me. Instacart works great. You don't have time? It's convenient. I don't care. And then you know what's great about it is you don't go buy extra crud that you don't need. I mean, yeah, yesterday was a day. You go in one of those towns where they have that ultimate candy store, which you should not go into, and you do. And it has all the old candy we were talking about. We were raised on.
All the good stuff.
I mean, the candy that we were raised on, you had to do things to get to the candy or the wax pops and all of that stuff. I was just like, it was one of those original ones that we went to. And then I get there and my daughter's always asking, I want this and I want this. And then I call her and she's like, well, I'm good. I'm like, no, I am at the place that you love and you're telling me I'm good? Because by the time I get home and then tomorrow we're going to hear, can you go get this? No, I was at the ultimate store for all this,
Yeah.
So it doesn't even get any better than that. So yeah, it was just, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, things are, you take advantage of the time that you have off, which sometimes I get 6 hours, 7 hours, and then I'm good. And then I'm back into work, just like, I know you work a ton of hours too. And then you have your family and all that stuff too. But you have to take those breaks too. We try. Doesn't mean we get them. Just saying.
Well, they're just as important as everything else, right? You can't give from an empty cup.
Right. I have can I speak to one of the questions? I just saw some of the questions pop up. And somebody said, when are we somebody's asking, when are we hitting the 1950s prices? This is something my guides have been talking about lately, is it doesn't matter. Because if you're in alignment with whatever you're called to do, and you're like, the more we worry about money, the less money we're going to have. The more we understand that we always have enough and that there's always enough money, we don't have to worry about what the prices are going to do, because we're going to have enough money. If it's $1,000, we're going to have $1,000. If it's $50, we're going to have $50. If it's like, so there's this whole dichotomy again, kind of coming in this idea of breaking these old matrix patterns. And one of them is lack. Like matrix, they want us to stay stuck in lack and worry about, are we going to be able to afford it? How are we going to get that? Because it like hits our basic survival mechanism and our humanness, right? And so when we talk about the prices, yes, things are going to fluctuate. And I know, Jenny, this is your realm. But as far as like, when I see that, I'm like, I get all like, stop worrying about it. Just do what you need to do, because the money's going to work itself out. But again, you have to know, what am I thinking about money? What do I feel about money? What beliefs get triggered? What fears get triggered? Where do I react in my body? Why do I feel like I'm not going to have enough? Like all of those things have to come to play until you understand that if you're in divine alignment and if you're doing what you're meant to do, if you're trusting where you're being called, and if you're trusting that you're doing the work you're meant to do, and I mean, you could be a 7-Eleven clerk. It doesn't matter what your job is. If you're doing what you're being called to do in that moment or in that year or in that lifetime or whatever, all of the things that you need to be able to pay for, you'll be able to pay for. And I know this from my own life, because back 25 years ago, when I was always worried about money, guess what? We were always worrying about money because we were always broke. But it was because I was worrying about money that we were broke. When you start trusting that this is breaking that matrix thing, and stop playing the game that there's not enough money. If you stop playing that game, and if you start believing and saying that there's always enough, there will always be enough, and it will come out of random places. It'll manifest out of nowhere. Like, it's ridiculous. That is something that we have worked on. And I actually, for the last 2 years, I'm not doing it this year, but the last 2 years before this, so 24 and 23, I did, it was called the Call to Abundance. And it was every month I did a channeled message on abundance. And it's all frequency, and it's all belief, and it's all alignment. And it's hard because we've been raised to be in that space of, do I have enough money? Will there be enough money? Those are the things. But when you start being like, okay, I trust that creator, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever label you use for that, I trust that I'm supported. I trust that this is going to work out. I trust that I'm going to have the money. It all will be okay.
It always is. If you put it in the right hands, the right energy, it always is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, don't.
Well, they don't understand.
They think it's out of control, but it's not.
Because they don't understand, and it's all about the programming that we've been in. It really is about the programming. And I apologize for my guys. I know I'm getting dark here. It's getting really dark outside.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, we're not worried about it. So anything you want to express to the audience where they can contact you, and where you, and then also where you see the future going with our world.
To contact me, my website, if it's up, it was actually down yesterday. I think I had my tech gal working on it. Is it up? Okay.
It's up.
So my website is good. You can get on my email list. I don't send a bunch of stuff on my email list, but I need to be better about using that. I think I'm going to need to use that for communication coming up, I feel like. But also right now I am on Facebook, and then I'm on all the places. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, all of those places. I have a YouTube. I'm not as active on it as I have been in the past. And then now I'm going to be singing that song forever. Somebody just put that phone number. I'm going to be singing that all night now. Thank you very much.
What song?
8675309.
Oh my God.
That is a classic answer. I love that.
Jenny and
but anyway, so yeah, on all the places,
so
right?
funny.
So I have all of the social media places, and then my email list is probably good. And then what was the other question that you asked me? Oh, what I see coming up. So
yeah, for the future.
It's funny because I just channeled, and I kind of hesitate because since I don't know your audience, I know mine. So like on my Patreon, I know what I can say.
Mine's are raw. Okay. Mine are very raw. They like the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
don't worry
I
about
literally got the words that I got were crisis and catastrophe. And I actually channeled that just before the Texas floods, but I don't think that's what I don't think that, like, and I don't mean to downplay this, so I don't mean it to come across, I don't think it's big enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Texas floods were bad, and I'm not trying to downplay that by any slice of the imagination. Like, it was a tragic thing what happened, but I feel like there's something else that's going to come this summer. And it was catastrophe and crisis. The thing is, at the same time, I feel like we're not meant to fear, because if we trust and understand that everything is happening for a reason, right? So that the light can actually, all of this stuff has to happen in order for the truth to come out, right? So if we can trust that,
right.
And again, kind of like you, Jenny, I'm like, there's just no fear anymore, So if you trust that, and if you know that everything's coming to, like, it needs to happen for things to come to light, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to happen. If I look further into the future, I'm really excited about what's to come, but I know it's going to be a hard couple of years to get there, but it's going to be worth it. And again, my daily life is not that, right? My daily life, and this is when I say crisis and catastrophe, I think that's the collective experience. That doesn't have to be your daily experience. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be involved in that. Now, I'm not saying things don't happen. Like I've had family that have lost homes to, all the things. Tornado. I mean, I think you saw, Jenny, that tornado that took out my aunt and uncle's house. Just literally, it was demolished. And in 2007, there was like,
What state was that? Where was he
oh, that
living?
was my aunt and uncle in south of Lamar, well, south of Grenada. So, yep.
Really?
Yep. The only house out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But
Are you serious?
I'll have to show you the pictures. It was incredible. And in 2007, that whole area down there got hit down by Holly. Like there's all kinds of things like that that'll happen. Yes, that's terrible, and yes, that's hard to get through, and yes, that's emotional, but they're fine. Everybody's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's okay. It's about, can you be the calm in the storm? And I feel like that is the biggest thing that we need to work on right now.
Yeah, can you? That is everything, because it's the ones that are on the front line that are leading, and they're going to be leading in the future. That is the way it is, because locally things are going to be dismantled too, because those structures have been paid and bought for too, and so people are going to have to step up. They can't sit back and not do anything. People, and once that happens, then things change. But it's going to be interesting when everything unfolds. But then there's a big relief when it comes that we're like, finally, it's done at a certain process that we can start again. We can eat healthy again. We can, raise our children in a healthy way again and live there again. And some of us we seek the peace to have here. That's it, So it's just, it's interesting how it's changing.
Like resilience. We were just laughing about this. Like, it's almost a good thing we were broke when we were kids, because like we didn't get all of the box stuff. We ate just
no.
So it's like,
no.
I guess it was a blessing, because we didn't have anything that wasn't real food.
No.
So,
True.
Yeah. No. It was. I don't know. It was. We only ate once a day when it comes to dinner. It's like you either get any or you're not going to get any.
Yeah.
And this is what you're going to get. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Yeah. Not these days. I don't like that. Well, then, let's tell you.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So go ahead.
Well, there's different things about like peace in 300 years, and somebody else is saying a peace was just around the corner. What if you create the peace now, right? Create the peace now for yourself. Create peace within yourself. And that means, it doesn't mean that bad things won't happen. It just means that when you can hold and anchor in the peace within yourself, that again, that's how we change things, right? Because all of this other stuff is happening whether we're peaceful or not.
Exactly.
True.
Things are going to go down whether they want it or not, but it's going to go down, and you'll have to accept it the way it is, and then start from a new slate. I mean, who's discouraged about starting financially all over and having the abundance of money that the strongman account needs to give us? Yeah. That's the whole thing. I mean, it just needs to happen. So I'd say bring it all on. We're all ready. We're ready for it. So yeah, a lot of us are tired of waiting. But we know that the list is not completed of what needs to be done. So we'll be waiting until they say, okay, the final green light is here. So yeah, it was nice having you here, and I was had you on in the past and stuff, and we'll see in the future and get you into some of these events. It'd be great.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Again.
Yeah,
I think so.
Good.
Maybe you'll end up in North Dakota again.
I might. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be a good thing.
That would be good.
So yeah. So you want to give them your contact one more time?
Yeah, probably the
Or,
easiest is
you know.
my website, which is my name.com, and then just find me on all the social.
I'll put in the chat.
And I mean, my socials are all the same too. It's all my name, like my hashtag, my @ sign, my handle, whatever you want to call it. Like that's all just my name. So,
Right.
Mhm.
yep,
Yeah. I mean, I think me and you are a few ones that use our name.
like our
You
real
know.
name. Yeah, to hide behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. We do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Which
We're not
I
worried
can't
about
blame,
it.
right? Like I cannot blame, but I also don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy.
I
Things
wish I
change,
had something fun like Miss Jeep. If I had a fun name like that, I would totally. But I am not that creative. I'm not creative enough to do something like that. I love that, by the way. I'm like, that is so fun.
Thank you. I can't drive any other vehicles now. I have to have a Jeep.
Yes, she can't.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Not
too
at all.
fun.
So it has to change how that works and everything. So
Yeah.
no, it was nice having
Well,
you
thanks
here.
for having me on. I appreciate you guys both very much.
So
Your show the other night was really good.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, it was fun.
All right.
Yeah. My the followers and what the spirit brings in, they all want the truth. They all like the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
That's good. So
As
you
you're
guys,
saying that, I'm seeing.
go
So
ahead.
these fireflies to me are just fascinating, right? Because where we grew up, you don't have them; it's too dry. And so the fireflies are out here, and I just heard my guides. They're just don't miss the magic, right? Even though we're going through all this stuff, there's
Right.
still magic in every day. So the faster we can attune to that, just happiness, like
Mhm.
happiness can be magical if you let it. And that's what, like, pay attention to where you're focusing, right? It's just like, when you're doing something really
Mhm.
fun, time goes a lot faster, right?
Yes.
Same thing with life.
Absolutely.
Start having a lot of fun, and all of this is going to go so much faster. So just enjoy it.
I know.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, you guys have a good night. Stay in the light. It was a great show.
Bye.
Thank you.
Keep in touch. Okay. Take care.
Good night, guys.
Good night.